Hello everybody and welcome to another third party-ish review. These are the latest figures from Wei Jiang. I think that's how you pronounce it. They're spelled Weijiang, I think. Basically these, if you are a Transformer fan, you're instantly aware that these look very, very much like the Toyworld Throttlebots. We have Grindrod, Ura, and Trace. I think that's what they're called, isn't it? Obviously, that's a Rollbar, Searchlight, and Chase from the Throttlebots, which were in the G1 cartoon very, very briefly throughout the end of Series 3. And then at the beginning of Series 4, where the Decepticons are attacking, how many? All of them. But yes, anyway, I digress. These guys are a knockoff as such, been mass produced in China, and they are larger. They've basically upscaled them somewhat. And yeah, I managed to get the set of the three from Toymoda. It set me back about $100, including shipping. But I thought, yeah, sure, let's give them a go. I originally sold my Grindrod. It was a great figure, but it wasn't quite big enough for my collection. I like the Masterpiece scale, and he was a little bit too small. So these, hopefully, are what I've been waiting for. So let's take a quick look around the box. With all three boxes, you get some sort of like card section thing here, which always looks like a mobile phone from the outside. These, of course, are known as Justice and Liberty. And on the back there we've got Creativity, and look, here, that does in fact prove that these are still designed to become limbs. I mean, they've ripped off the entire, they've even got the exact logo that Toyworld have been using on their website, saying these toys are coming soon. So, I mean, I don't know, maybe these have been licensed by Toyworld, maybe they bought the designs to upscale and give to the larger markets, I don't know. It'll be great if they have, because these are going to sell like hotcakes. Let's just hope the quality on these are as good as they look. Sides of the box, we've just got the arms, the limbs, in fact they include swords, you've got your scannable barcode, and you've got their text print on the other side of the boxes, as well as the bottom. You've got your basic warnings for health and safety. We're not here to review the boxes, let's have a look at the toys. And here they are, guys, straight out of the packaging. And first impressions are, wow. No, seriously, absolutely wow. The quality, I would say, it isn't exactly the same as the Toyworld originals, but man, these, I mean, comparatively, they feel very similar to that of the Starcats combiners, the Dinobots and Rescue Bots. That sort of, no, they're better than that. They are better than that. These are really solid figures. The joints are tight, the figures are held together well, they come with swords. I'm assuming they're avoiding any law copyright problems by oversizing them and giving them swords, therefore making them completely different toys. As you can see though, they look absolutely stunning. Now I've gone for the original colours, but there are actually alternative colours. For example, you've got the Trace figure, you can get him in yellow, blue, there's red, there's all different sorts of colours there. But I just decided to go for the original colours that Toyworld released, and yeah, these guys are absolutely cracking. Figures also come with these, assuming they're games, but they look like cell phones, and yeah, they don't bend. Being exactly the same mould as the originals, only upscaled, I mean, everything is the same. Obviously, the sculpt on the head is the same, although it is painted differently. Still have absolutely amazing light piping on these figures. The heads are a little bit stiffer, but it does go left and right, up and down. You do have the ball-jointed shoulders. Just move the gun out of the hand so I can show you. You've got a ball-jointed shoulder there, really, really stiff joints. You've got a joint at the elbow, you've got an upper bicep swivel, you have a rotation at the wrist, you do have a waist swivel, you've got a forward, is there a ball in there? I think there is a ball in there, yeah. Upper thigh swivel, You've got a nice deep joint at the knee. And you've got, don't really know if the front pivots, does it? No, it's locked into place. So the feet do lock into place. One thing I don't like, though, is these swords that they've included. They're made from that horrible, really cheap, thin plastic that you used to get with the He-Man figures when they came with their swords. They were really thin, and there's been so much flex there. But hey-ho, if it avoids any copyright issues, then yay! See, now I only ever had Grind Rod, and I kind of wrote them off due to the fact with the scale, and I think that's a little bit unfair, because I mean, these guys are absolutely beautiful. The sculpting on them is phenomenal. I mean, that's an absolutely cracking face. I mean, you can't see the light piping there, can you? But they look so good. I mean, I love like the flare of the shoulders and this really buff chest. I believe this is probably meant to go in a little bit more. I'm not entirely sure. I've literally just pulled them straight out of the packet. Even the weapons, the guns that come included are really, really nice. Again, you've got the same articulation. You've got the head up, down, left, right. It's on a ball. Ball jointed shoulders. A little bit looser on this guy, but still, I mean, the arms are not going to fall down. He can still support weight. Rotation at the upper bicep. Bend at the elbow. Rotation at the wrist, he says, or is there not? No, there's no rotation at the wrist, just a hinged up and down movement. There is a waist swivel. You've got the ball at the thigh. I think that's a ball, it might be a forward and back swivel. Swivel at the upper thigh. Nice bend at the knee, and you do have a kind of pivot there with the foot. So yeah, really, really nice figure. And we've got Glory, Kingdom Glory on that. I'm assuming we didn't have that with the original Toyworld mould. And lastly we have Searchlights, or Aurora, I believe he was called. I mean, look at that. That is a fantastic sculpt. Absolutely amazing. Oh, I'm loving these, I really am. Well done, Ben. Well done for finding a bargain. Up and down, left and right. Really, really nice range of movement on the shoulders there. Again, slightly hindered on the elbow though due to the arm kibble. If we move that out slightly, we do have a nice deep bicep curl there and a upper bicep swivel. We do have a wrist rotation. Yep, we have wrist rotation on this guy. We have waist rotation. Looks to be ball jointed. Groin, upper thigh, swivel, deep bend at the knee, possibly a double jointed knee. There we go, nice double jointed knee. And some front toe pivot. Nothing really on the heel there, so it's more cosmetic, but oh, wow, he looks so good. Oh, I'm only 2 years behind, I think, with these. Right, let's give you guys an idea of scale with some size comparisons. Here they are with Generation Springer, who is a Voyager scale figure. Here they are with Toyworld's Orion and B. I mean, look at that. They are vastly oversized, aren't they? They came up to around Orion's waist before, and wow. Upscaled. And here they are with some Masterpiece figures. Now this is how I'm going to display them. I know they're not as highly detailed as the Masterpiece figures, but they do look good, and I think that scale works incredibly well. Let's take a look at these guys now in their vehicle modes, because I know a lot of you guys were keen on the vehicle modes, and you may even display them like that. So let's start off with Grind Rod. To start the transformation, you want to remove both sets of weapons. You can then get his gun, you can fold those sections over like so, and as you can see that's going to become the spare tyre. There is slight paint chipping on the back there where it's been in his hand. If you can see that, get that in focus maybe, Ben. There we go. But other than that, I mean, there's no spur marks or anything, and it looks like a tyre. Right, first steps to transforming Grind Rod. He's pegged in just here for this front cab section. Just unplug that like so. I like to hang that down out of the way. Come round to these arms, and basically you want to turn the arm this way, I believe it is, and then the shoulder that way. See this gap here? This shoulder is going to roll down there and slide in there like so. You then need to rotate this arm down like so. That's just going to sit there like that for now. Do that with the other side. We're going to rotate grind rod's head round and then just push that down like so. We can then come to this back assembly here. You want to do, you unpeg this back section like so. Bring this section up, which is on a double hinge. Just lift it up, just clear these, up and out of the way like so. It gives you room to then rotate these freely and round this side. Rotate this one, rotate it round, place it back, and this is going to peg into the side of where you put those arms down. So plug that in there, plug that in there. You can then grab this hood section here, roll this back on itself again, and this is going to close up around all of the back of those doors. Come around to these legs. You want to lift up this window section, pull forward the toe section, and then clip that one back down. Do the same with this side, pull the toe down, clip that back down, lift up the window section, and the knees that are on a double hinge, you want to rotate it so this hinge is bending, rotate that round like so. Do the same with this side, rotate that round like so. What you're best to do, you're best to wiggle these sections individually, get those into place. There's a clip here, a clip there, and a clip on the roof there, you see that? Just plug all of those in, plug this bottom one in, and then once they're all plugged in, then you can bring these two sections together at the front and just make sure everything is plugged in securely. There we go, let's grab our tyre. That just places on the back like so. And there we go. There is a grind rod. Now it's not absolutely perfect. The clip at the front there doesn't quite want to hold together, but it's so robust. I mean, this is like, feels like a huge chunky Tonka toy. There's nowhere to store the swords that I can see. But all in all, it's a very, very good vehicle mode. Looks just like Toyworld 1, only much bigger. And of course, we can still unbuckle these, flip that up, unbuckle these, flip that up, peg those into the bonnet, pop this off the top, and we still have the said port for leg mode. Next up for transformation, it's sexy searchlight. So remember, let's get rid of those guns. Just wiggle that out of his hand, and get rid of his sword. Every Autobot needs a sword. First steps for searchlight, you want to make sure these arms are straight with these angles pointing down. You want to pull out this front section, pull that down and out of the way. Then rotate the arms inwards. Do the same with this arm, just grab it and rotate it at the upper bicep. Pop his head down into the chest cavity. No need to rotate this time like we did with grind rod. At the next step, we want to rotate this shoulder section down into this cavity here. And as we're doing that, as we're rotating this down into here, we rotate this arm and bend at the elbow. So that's going in, going in, going in, and then that slots in like so. And then these can just locate in there. There's a small clip just there, and that pegs into the actual arm, and that holds that into place like so. Rotate this front plate section around like so, and you want to grab this section here and you want to pull that up like so, and again there's another pivot here so we can pivot that round, and that's going to form the back and top of the car. Just like we did with grind rod, you want to separate these back sections, rotate them around, this side rotate it around, and they're going to slide round to the side here, and they are going to attach up to here. And once we get the roof on, that'll peg in there as well. Now, as you may have seen, I had the legs like this, which is how they come out of the package, which officially is actually mistransformed. The original should actually look like this with these legs here. But to get it to that stage, basically all we're doing is we're pulling it out. There's a peg just here that extends like so. Just pull it out, and it allows for us to rotate this section round like so. And that's basically just all I had is I had that pegged back in, and then that section bent over like so. But it's entirely up to you. It's all to do with preference. Obviously, the correct transformation was that this pulled out, rotated round, and like so. But for the purpose of going back to vehicle, it's just handy to have the legs like this, because you only then have to pop those sections up. Come around to the wheels and flip those up on either side. You can then bring the front section down and plug that in. Bring this section down and peg that in like so. And then it's basically a matter of doing the same again with the double jointed thighs, wiggling that in and getting everything to line up. The gun section is basically just folded down into there. I can't get it back out again now to show you. I just pushed it down into there. That then slides under and in like so, just out of the way. It becomes like a wheel axle. And there we go. There is Searchlight, or Aurora, in the sexy vehicle mode. Last but not least, we have Trace Chase. Just take his sword and gun out of his hand. First thing I do with this guy, I sort out the toes. The toes clip in, and this one comes round like so. Just rotate it, and that plugs in like so. That's going to form the back of the car. I'm going to rotate the waist round. So you've got these kind of, well, bald patches here. They're going to be facing forward with the screw. The screw is facing forward. I'm going to pull this chest section down and out of the way. That then allows the shoulder, which is on a separate hinge in there, to actually pull down and kind of go inward. I've rotated the head here, and this whole section here is on a slider. If you slide that out, like so, that then allows you to free up this section. The whole bonnet section can come up and rotate, and these sections here are going to plug in on here. So we're going to plug those in, 1 and 2, like so. Then come round to the back, and this section here, that is going to rotate all the way around as well. And then this section can just go backwards like that. You can see it's starting to take shape. Now pivot the head actually on this neck joint here now. So pivot this entire section around like so. And then that's going to form the front of the car. With the shoulders right down and clear, you can pull out these back wing sections. They're actually on a rotating hinge. Don't know if you can see the hinge there, it's just underneath here. When we bring this hinge forward, just make sure it clears the underside here, and then that will line up nicely to tab into the front of the bonnet. Looking at the underside here, this arm needs to fit in here. So with the hinge down, you want to pull this one up, and that goes up and under like so. That's going to form part of the wheel arch. You can then see that this arm is actually on a slider. So this slides into itself like so. And like we had with the pin earlier on, you want to push this further forward, and then we can plug that in like so. Then it all slides in under there nicely. And with the legs, I'm going to make sure that we've got this empty hollow section facing forwards. You then grab hold of that and then rotate the legs back round like so. As you can see, now that knee joint is really loose because we've adjusted how the knee pivots. And as that's going down, you want to push on that joint, so that then allows this to slide back up and over. Both these back sections slide underneath the back of there, and the hood just slides into those gaps there. Come on, in you go. Everything's so tight on this. There we go. And this side. There you go. Now it's just a matter of lining everything up and plugging it all in together. Last but not least, you want to spin the head round just to hide the face. And obviously these bits don't peg together. They're never meant to peg together. They are used when we make the robot combining arm. It's got it on the instructions that you're meant to peg this into here, which it does go. And it's meant to sit like that, but that looks ridiculous. I don't even know if that's gonna... That's just gonna rub on the floor. Let's have a look. I suppose if we just set it slightly further back... I mean, yeah, let's set it like there. It just doesn't want to go under there and have any good clearance, does it? Well, that's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. There you go. Here he is without a gun attached. And there we go. There they are in vehicle mode. There is a Lancia, i.e. my new bestie MP Wheeljack. They didn't look half bad, do they? I think they scale incredibly well with the Masterpiece line. Okay, yes, they do look a bit tonkerish, and you've got the black on the windscreens there, so it isn't a Masterpiece quality as such, but scale-wise, I think they work incredibly well. Like I say, they're not without their faults. I do have some trouble pegging certain sections in and just getting them to stay together, but they feel so robust. Really high-grade quality plastic. You do have to be careful of the wing mirrors on this guy. They are prone to coming off, and they're not broken or anything. They just pop straight back on again. But all in all, they look fantastic. They are gorgeous, gorgeous alt modes. They really, really are. And last but not least, we can, of course, get them into their combined mode. For Aurora, you just kind of pop off the number plate there, and it reveals the combining peg hole. And with Chase, or whatever his name is now, it's got to pull the leg section of the car undone, flip open this section here, pop that back up, and they then peg in here. And there's a port here and a port here, which I'm assuming is where the hand section is going to peg. And there we go. We have a combining arm. I'm assuming these ports here are going to peg in somewhere on the center torso bot. I'm not sure. But all in all, very, very impressed by the quality of these. The price is ridiculously cheap. I mean, talk about value for money. I mean, the price some of these are going for now, especially Grind Rod, you could buy the entire set for that. And they're bigger. Bigger is better, yes? So my wife tells me. Anyway, guys, this is Ben. These are the knockoff Toyworld Throttlebots. And from myself and the guys over at toymoder.com, thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.